Welcome to the Board of Trustee meeting, Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. We will open the meeting as we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance and with a moment of silence. Tonight's moment of silence is for the victims of 9/11, which occurred 23 years ago today. We owe the patriots of the 9/11 generation a debt of gratitude that we can never fully repay. So today is designated as Patriot and National Day of Service and Remembrance. We should never forget. A way to honor the fallen is to be the people we were on 9/12. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We could have the approval of the minutes, please.
No minutes tonight, but we have the motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay period ending September 3rd, 2024.
So moved?
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved?
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
We have no report this week since we had significant transactions last week.
All right, thank you. Takes us into trustee correspondence. Trustee Seavey?
Yeah, I had some correspondence from a resident with questions about running around the township. And I mean running like 5Ks, running like miles around the township. And she was very surprised to hear that we do have a mapped out 5K route through Delhi Park. We also have what's called a Go Vibrant pathway that goes around like Foley Road, Anderson Ferry, Rapid Run, and up Neeb, and it's marked with the amount of miles, and it starts with 3/4 of a mile and goes up to 4 miles. I talked to Randy, and the Parks Department is going to post those again on our website to update everyone that that type of running exercise is available in the township. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Davis?
Not at this time.
Okay. I have some of the feel-good correspondence that we've received. One of them came to Chief Campbell from the Butler County Emergency Management Agency. They were working a political rally in Middletown, and Aaron McKnight went. And they just wanted to say thank you, that everything worked very well, and he worked well with our Mobile Operations Center and the Command 400, as they called it. So, again, he wanted to thank him, and we thank him. We help our partners. We help when needed, and that's a good thing. Just like the police department assisted with the Harvest Home Parade. And there were a couple incidents that need to be dealt with, and so the Cheviot Police was very, very pleased and happy that we were there for that. And then we had a resident send a nice note that their father had gone into cardiac arrest, and 3 times in the past month when she wrote this. And she says, the quick action of all of you that saved him. God bless you all and your families in Jesus' name. Our family is forever thankful for each and every single one of you. You are daily miracle workers. So it's always nice to have our people appreciated for what they do. Though our men and women may say, that's my job, it is very important to our residents and to our community. So, we want to thank you too, but it's always nice to hear that you're doing a good job and the impact you have on people's lives. Also, I just wanted to mention, for fear of somebody saying something, have you noticed our gas is down? We're 3.09, not 369, 349 anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming down, but I was happy to see that the other day. I only saw one other place that was 2.99 on the east side of town. So, thank you to whomever's responsible for that.
I would say that is 2 months before an election is why you see that.
I knew there'd be a comment.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, let's not be crazy. You know exactly why that gas is coming down, just like you're going to see the federal interest rate come down to make it look like everything's just great. And we all know for the last 3.5 years it has been anything but great. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you. All righty. Let's move into our departments. Fire department, please. Assistant Chief Howell. Oh, no, Doug's here. Sorry, Chief Campbell.
We have a motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT Christy M. Barrett, effective September 20th, 2024.
So moved?
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Christy. Where's she going, Chief?
She's exploring other career opportunities right now. She was very vague on her.
Okay. Well, we thank you for your time with us. All right, hiring recommendation.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Michael G. Schultz as part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a voice stress analyzer, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on September 11th, 2024.
So moved?
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Welcome, Michael. All right, department updates, please.
Yes, folks, just kind of a little update on August. We had 373 total runs for the month, bringing us year-to-date 2,896. That's up 8%. I mean, we have literally had nearly double-digit increases every year for the last 5 years. So very significant. Playing on that, you know, we average 75 to 78% of our calls are for emergency medical incidents, and our average response time is still holding at that 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So with that being said, that's kind of the nice segue. As far as EMS operations playing such a heavy role, I just want to update the board and the community on what we're working on with EMS. So we have started our enhanced airway management. One of the critical roles that a paramedic plays on the scene is securing an airway of those that don't breathe, have trouble breathing, could have vomit, blood in their airway, an obstruction. So airway management is key, keeps the heart and brain alive. With that, we're transitioning out of the King airway, which is a little bit of an older adjunct, to the iGel, which is the standard of care right now for airways. That allows them to mimic more closely what you see in hospitals and things like that. Also, we're adding to our repertoire video laryngoscopy. What that allows us to do is our paramedics now have a camera-aided laryngoscope so they can guide the tube in through the airway and see it through a video camera. So that would be good for instances of trauma. We can't manipulate the neck to get the proper position. The video laryngoscope goes a long way in helping us manage more difficult airways. Key to another enhancement is our pain management. Currently, pain management protocols, we've gone from like morphine now into fentanyl. Not everybody's crazy about having narcotics for, you know, pain relief. If you're a recovering addict or you have other issues, we now have another option for our paramedics for pain management, and that would be the use of ketamine for pain management. Much different, doesn't have the same narcotic side effects and addiction rates. So, and then finally, a big step forward, and I will say this, we are the first department in Hamilton County currently to have these cardiac monitors. We are on the leading edge of what technology can be provided to our residents in terms of cardiac care and resuscitation therapy. We are transitioning out of our current LifePak 15 cardiac monitors and going into the LifePak 35 monitors. Has totally different capabilities. The ability to sit next to the patient and transmit to the hospital that's receiving you all the cardiac information in live view. Whereas now we kind of take a picture and it skips a lot. You know, it doesn't show you the whole picture. So we're on the forefront of our EMS in these developments, and these are all things that have just kind of propped up this year, and the timing's perfect to kind of really brag on our service and where we're taking EMS into the next century.
Any questions? Trustee Seavey?
I'm surprised to learn that ketamine was non-narcotic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been in the news so often that I just assumed that it was a narcotic substance, but it's not.
No, it's not.
You hear a lot about it. I think there's a lot of misunderstandings.
It can be
about-
misused. Trust me, it's a controlled substance, but when you're looking
Controlled,
for
but
all,
it's not narcotic.
Yeah. But if you're looking for an alternative to an opioid for pain management.
For pain
it is-
management.
It is very
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Doug.
Trustee Davis?
No, great job. It's good to hear that. And we've always said Delhi has, the best safety services you could get and ask for. As I say, when you have someone going through a cardiac event or a non-breather and you've got someone like that and what we have to help, that's tremendous, whatever it takes to get that. And I think you're going to hit on Greenwell here, correct?
Yeah, late last week, Friday, so at about 3 o'clock, the medic unit on Greenwell got called out to a medical emergency and transported. That left one person back to first respond. And at 14:05 at 582 Greenwell, they were called for a structure fire with possible entrapment, and they upgraded it to an entrapment call, which got additional resources called out to us. That meant that we had personnel responding from this side of town, but the closest fire apparatus was at Neeb Road. I did have a response time of 5.2 minutes, still fast, nearly meeting what our average is anyway. And then that first unit on the scene, they had a juvenile that was at home from school sleeping in the basement and discovered smoke, woke up to smoke, and evacuated the house with the dog. There was no other adults home. When our fire crews got there, you can definitely see from the picture, it was well involved. That typically does not happen in the middle of the day. And just so happened a passerby saw flames and sparks from an air conditioning unit, reported at 911, and that's how we got the call. There were no injuries to any civilians, any firefighters on the scene. We did rescue 3 cats in the process of going through the house, extinguishing and searching for any animals and things like that. And happy to say one of the kittens they rescued was resuscitated by our medic crew when they did get back to the fire. And those 3 cats are now in the hands of SCPCA. They were transported by Hamilton County to a medical facility for treatment and things like that. This took the resources of 11 apparatus and 26 personnel from 3 departments. This is not a one-man show. We can't do this on our own. It took 26 people. That's a big deal, especially since what we can offer on a daily basis. This is mutual aid at its best. No community can afford for its own fire and police or fire and EMS protection in itself. It's just not possible with the cost of everything. So mutual aid makes up a lot of that and resources. And then having a medic unit out when that call came in and not being able to respond with that engine, it just makes it much more challenging. It delays units, but fire was out. Bulk of it was out within 15 minutes, and lost stop was closer to 25 minutes. So very good, quick reaction. Everything kind of fell in place. We do appreciate our mutual aid partners as well as police in securing the area and allowing our investigation to take place afterwards. Total loss is looking at about $105,000. Got any questions?
I know people have been asking how can they help, and I did see they started a Fund Me kind of thing, but we don't know where the people are at this time to be able to take them clothing and things of that sort. I mean, is there any way they can resource that? Or, I know it's personal information, just.
Right. So I think, and it needs to be said, because we kind of went through this with the Delshire
Yes.
apartments. The fire department really doesn't have a resource or a mission level to provide that level of coordination for fundraising and things like that. We just don't have the facilities, manpower, or knowledge. And usually victim assistance is handled at that level. Now, I know we did coordinate with American Red Cross, again, and 1-800 board up for securing the building, things like that. But in typical fashion, we try to get them to rely on their insurance companies for that immediate need that maybe the Red Cross can't handle. But there's nothing internally the fire department can do in terms of resource management.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Another great job. Any comments, trustees?
No.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. All right, we'll move on to Parks and Recreation. We have a motion.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Danielle E. Boatwright as an event custodian in the Parks and Recreation Department at a pay rate of $19 per hour upon successful completion of a background check and drug testing effective on September 7th, 2024.
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Welcome, Danielle. Department update, please, Mr. Soupy.
Yes, just a couple new updates. I do have the video you're looking at is the dog park area that we're working on. We did demo everything from Field 9. That's the original area. The dog park fence is scheduled in, I believe, in 2 weeks to start after another fence we're working on. After that, I will have more photos, but it'll consist of upcoming plans for it are the old 9. The dog park will eventually consist of 2 separate entrances. The main one will be accessing from behind Field 3 along the walk path. Eventually, I'm going to go through the woods and make a wooded access from the lower part where there's a portalet right now where the fence was behind Field 1. So it'll be I guess like a nature path walking through on that one too. So have to do a little work on that first, but it'll be there. And then we'll adding additional amenities, including freshwater fountains, agility play structures for the pets and so on, benches, possibly shading. And like I said, there's not much added right now. In a couple weeks, I'll have more photos. I'll have more additions for that process. Anything else? We do have the pickleball added. We did add signs and rule signs and everything there, so them are up. We are working on court dividers as of right now. I've been talking with Trustee Davis, working on some ideas. There are pickleball court individual dividers to keep the balls in between the play. So let's see. Another little update. We've had a broken drum head at the new playground. We have 3 total there. I talked to the warranty company, and they are on their 4th generation of these already, so they're going to come and replace all 3. They're in the process of, I believe, September 23rd is when they're scheduled to come in. So we are aware that there are a couple broken, and as of right now, they're taped up. We can't really take them apart, so we're working on that as now. So
How did that get broken? Do we know?
I haven't seen yet. I would imagine daily use because they've gone through so many generations of these drums.
Okay.
They're just not holding up. So hopefully the new ones they are supplying will do much better.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Or they come up with something else to,
Or something, a different design, yes.
yeah, right.
And finally, along with our volunteer programs at Flow Paradise, we are having a new volunteer program coming up. It is this Saturday. One of our workers, that was previous worker, Greg Lundy, is going to run it. It is a forestry group, so we're working closely with him. It is this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. They're going to go through at Story Woods Park and cut down invasive honeysuckles, clean up the corner of the trails for safety so you can see around the bends. He's wanted to do this a couple times a year, so there is opportunity for volunteering in school hours if you want to work that way. So we have volunteer forms. Anybody can contact the parks up till that point or just show up at Story Woods Park at 694 Pontius Road around 8:30 a.m. He will direct you where to go.
Saturday?
On this Saturday, the 14th, yes.
Great.
And we'll have another one in October. We're working on the date.
Okay, great. Can we just verify, too, for people that were a little confused when we first put the Harvest Hootenanny on Facebook, it does not begin at 5 o'clock. They've corrected it. It's 10 to 4, correct?
10 to 4, yes.
10 to 4, okay. So
Yep.
just want to make sure everybody heard that and saw it. Okay, any questions,
One
trustee?
question. Randy, the dimensions on the dog park, do you know those offhand?
Offhand, the total is just under an acre. I don't know the actual square footage yet until the fence gets up. We are playing up a year so we can maintain around the perimeter. You can kind of see, I'll have better pictures once it's up. But there is access around the entire perimeter in case they want to go around the wooded area as well. So once I get everything set there and work with the company while it's going in, we'll have a good dimension at that point.
Okay, and I remember something being mentioned too, as far as there'll be different areas for the larger dogs as compared to the small dogs, and
Yes.
are we just going to have them all running together?
No, there is a small dog or a small dog park and an adult or a bigger dog park. I believe we're working with VIA right now. They're going to post something tomorrow along with this diagram. The general differences, I believe, are 30 pounds and under, divides the dogs up. So there's a little bit of fluff in that area, but we can work with it.
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Randy, I know there's another community concern about drainage.
Yes.
We're evaluating that for.
Yeah, we've already done the majority of the drainage work that has been an issue there. I'm sure with this dry spell, I can't say for sure that it's all fixed, but we're working on it, yes.
But we're able to add additional field tiles.
Yeah, and I'm going to be working along with the fence company. We're going to dig in the new water line as well, so I'm going to put some more drainage at that time too, once the posts are in.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Police Department, we don't have anything on the agenda, but how about a department update, please?
Well, ma'am, as you mentioned, we were fortunate to assist Cheviot with their Harvest Home Parade and with their festival. Always happy to help one of our West Side neighbors, and I know that they were really glad that we could do that for them. I was at Oak Hills today
Jared,
with, please?
your mic, is it on?
Or you're too
I'm
far
not
away?
as tall as Chief.
Okay,
I gotta
thank
get
you.
closer. I was at Oak Hills today with Assistant Chief Helms, and we were helping to plan a large-scale active shooter drill. It's something that we try to do every year. It's going to be a multi-agental thing with Green Township, Delhi, Coleraine, Cheviot, fire departments from both sides of the aisle. We're going to work together to do this drill. Somebody asked me if it was in response to recent events. It's not. We planned this before the school year even started. But, something like that shooting last week in Wyndon just shows that these kind of events happen in small towns. They happen in Delhi's. And we want to be making sure that we're going to be ready if something would happen like that around here. We hope you never have to deal with it. We're going to send representatives down to University of Cincinnati for their demo day on October 23rd. There's going to be a lot of agencies involved in that, and it should be a pretty good showing. Today, they had a really impactful drug arrest. Our impact unit, in conjunction with DART, they've had a lengthy investigation on this individual that's been dealing in and out of Delhi. They stopped him up on Covedale near Wilnet, and he's now at the Hamilton County Justice Center facing numerous drug trafficking charges. So that was a great job by our impact unit. It was a good team effort. And then August, auto accident analysis. To date, we've had 203 auto accidents. This time last year, we had 224, so almost a 10% decrease. And it's almost a 15% decrease from the same time, 2022. So trending in the right direction.
Great, okay, thank you. Any questions? Trustees?
No, I'm good.
No, thank you. Let's hope it stays a pretty calm week for you. All right, Public Works, we have a resolution.
We have Resolution 2024-146, entering into an agreement with the Board of the County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio, and the Board of Education of the Oak Hills Local School District, Oak Hills, to share equitably in the rental expenses for a rubber tire loader at Delhi Salt Storage Dome, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute the agreement and to rent the equipment, declaring an emergency, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? Mr. Gelhausen?
Yeah, so we do this every year between Hamilton County Engineers and Oak Hill School District. We go in and rent a rubber tire loader to load the salt trucks. So it kind of works out for everybody on this one, a little better price, and we get a better rate all season. So everybody kind of works out pretty good on this deal.
Are we stocked well with ice?
Yes,
Or not
we
ice,
are
I'm
fully
sorry, salt?
stocked and ready
Salt,
for
we don't
salt
have
right
ice?
now.
Yeah, we're in good shape?
Yep, really
Okay.
good shape right now.
Great.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes. You have a department update for us?
Yeah, I want to let the board know that the crews are going to be going to the Hamilton County Snowplow Rodeo next week to compete. It's a good training opportunity that they do every year before snow season. We have had a couple drivers take first place before in the department, so we're wishing them good luck on that one. I want to update the Cleves-Warsaw Linneman project. I know that they've been doing some dirt work up there at the corner on Linneman. That is in preparation for the new substation that they're putting in. So I know they're hauling in a lot of equipment for that if people see any work going on. They are still trying to get the poles switched over to the new ones and get the old ones out of there. I know that just took time for that. And one more thing I want to mention is on Greenwell. I know there was a lot of concern about all the patches they did. Crews are still in the area working. You may not see them in the area, but they are still working off of Skylark and some of the other roads over there. So unfortunately, they can't finish paving the road until everything's tied in and approved through Duke. So if they be patient, they should be finished here in another month or two for paving.
All right.
That's on the stretch of Greenwell?
Yes.
Okay.
They will have that repaved.
So from Delhi to Foley?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
That will get paved this year. So I know a lot of people are concerned about that with all the
Yes,
holes.
they are. Yes, they are. Any other questions?
And if they can avoid it, that would be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here. All right, administration, we have a resolution.
We have Resolution 2024-147, authorizing and entering into an administrative services agreement for medical plan administration with Bind Benefits, Inc., doing business as Surest, for the purpose of establishing the terms and conditions under which Surest agrees to provide administrative services in connection with the provision of certain self-insured group health benefits for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver all necessary documents, declaring an emergency, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? Who's going to talk about it? Ms. Hermes? Mrs. Hermes?
You guys all heard me talk last week. This is a renewal with our current insurance carrier, and we have a good partnership with them, and I hope to have a good year.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-148, authorizing and entering into the contract providing excess loss insurance with ISU, a division of Companion Life Insurance Company, in connection with the program for the provision of individual and aggregate stop-loss protection, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver the necessary documents, declaring an emergency, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mrs. Hermes?
Just a reminder that the stop loss is our second portion of our self-funded health insurance. We have raised our stop loss to $75,000, which means the township pays the first $75,000 per member's health insurance.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-149, authorizing an agreement with Legal Shield for identity theft and online protection and legal protection services for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver the necessary documents, declaring an emergency, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mrs. Hermes?
We are introducing a more robust legal and ID theft protection policy that we will be rolling out to our employees during open enrollment. It is 100% funded by the employees. It's just something that's a nice value add for our benefits.
Okay.
I move we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-150, authorizing and entering into an agreement with the Independence American Insurance Company, DBA Pet Partners, for group pet insurance for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver the necessary documents, declaring an emergency, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mrs. Hermes?
Again, this is an additional offering that would be employee paid completely. I know I love my animals, so it's just another thing to put out there. Costs for health insurance are going up, and costs for pet medical care has been going up over the years, so it's a nice addition to add to our portfolio.
Melanie, do you have any prices on how much that is?
Yes, well, we have two different plans. One's accident and illness, and one's accident, illness, and wellness, and then dogs or cats. So the cats are about 13 for one, and the dogs are between 21 and 34, depending on if you're doing accident or if you're doing wellness as well. And the wellness includes like prescription drugs and your annual physicals for your dogs, and they go for at least twice a year for shots and stuff like that. There is a deductible, of course, but it is a nice way to get coverage for your animal, and maybe get a little peace of mind. So if your dog or cat does get into something, you're not thinking about how much is this going to cost me, but more thinking about what is the quality care for my animal.
Well, sure. And if you've had a dog who pulled a ligament or something in there, you're talking thousands.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you that
Thousands.
one of my dogs that I wish I would have had for her, I've had to replace two, I would say ACL, but they're TPLO surgeries, and they were between $4,000 and $5,000 a piece.
Yeah.
So that is a pre-existing condition for her, so it will not be something that is allowed to be covered again, but it would have been nice to have a few years ago.
Yeah.
We love our fur babies.
Yeah. So it's an option for them. It's not that we're covering, it's just if they want to buy into it.
It's
Okay.
100% employee paid.
Good.
I move that we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-151, entering into a consulting agreement with Enrollment Management Services regarding group insurance benefits offered to eligible employees and officers, included in benefits provided through an individual self-insurance program, authorizing the Township Administrator to execute and deliver the necessary documents, declaring an emergency, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mrs. Hermes?
This is a consulting agreement with EMS. I know last week we talked about how we're having a 30% increase to our health insurance, and this is a company that would be able to look at what we offer and try and add some additional value and ways for us to get a handle on the costs. So the hope is to continue to offer great benefits to our employees, but also find ways to contain the costs without lowering the quality of coverage.
Okay.
I move that we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-152, authorizing the administrator to enter into a contract with Priority Lawn Care for Delhi Town Square, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mrs. Hermes? Oh,
Actually, this one will
Mr.
be me.
Miller.
Yep, sorry. I still have a voice. All right. So we have been looking at property maintenance proposals for Delhi Town Square for the last several months. Our exterior mowing, cutting has been ad hoc at this point, and quite frankly, I'm ready for us to get on a standard mowing schedule to keep the facility as nice as it should be. Priority Lawn is a local company that we have a prior relationship with, so we have the utmost confidence in the quality of their work. They also happen to be the lowest bidder. So I think this is a great rate, and we are proposing to lock these prices in for 3 years, so there will not be any increases over the next 3 years.
Very nice.
So, yep.
Very nice.
Move that we dispense, I'm sorry.
They will provide snow plowing as well as pressure washing of the building as well.
Nice.
I move that we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
Okay. I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Sorry, Mr. Davis had a legal question for me.
I'm just trying to get clarification on the bidding and such. I had not seen that went out to bid, but this is a different
It's a much lower threshold.
Exactly.
Yeah, these were informal bids.
Exactly, okay.
Board, I was responding to Dave's question.
Doing your job.
No, you chose right.
Good question. Yep.
Well, are you going to say yes?
Mr. Davis?
You got anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll mow it if you want me to. I mean, I'll do whatever you want.
The grass grew about a foot while we were
Will you
waiting.
please call the roll?
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes, resolution passes.
The grass shall
Do you have
be
a
cut.
report for us, Mr. Miller?
I have a brief report.
Okay.
I'm going to save my voice. So as far as DTS is concerned, we're still working on some warranty work that has to do with exterior lighting, some interior lighting fixtures, and HVAC. I know we've been talking about how cold this room can get. We balanced it by turning it off tonight. So the
move.
controller has to be fixed in this room. It's these little startup issues that they're lingering, and getting contractors back out here now that they're off-site is being a challenge, but we're holding them to it, and the warranty work will get done. Speaking of warranty work, the paint touch-ups to both of our pools have now been complete. So both our warm water pool and our lap pool are back open for use by our members, and they're ready for the swim season as well.
Great.
I'm happy to report that the Delhi Athletic Club has now seen over 17,000 check-ins of the site just since opening June 1st. We are averaging just under 200 members using the facility each day. Some other highlights: we are at 680 memberships as of yesterday, and which is just over 14,000 members. So our numbers are looking great. Last month, I want to say we were 120%.
14,000 members?
1,400, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1,400. All right.
Have this
Yeah,
paid
that'd
off
be
in no
great.
time.
Yeah. My apologies. Thank you. Yeah. All these, the numbers are blurring together for me. We were at 120% of our goal last month for membership, and we are already within 21% of our goal for signups this month. So
Nice.
we are well ahead of the curve on memberships.
Word spreading.
Yep. The event center is now open to the public, where we're at now. Community programming is already started. The website is live, and you can check out those classes online at delhieventcenter.org, or .com. .com, thank you.
.com.
All right.
Do you want to talk about our entertainment out front and our bar being open and all that
Absolutely.
stuff? I know you
Actually,
don't
I have
the
it as part of
schedule.
the community updates.
Very good.
So I've got that schedule here, but yes, we do have the lawn bar open, and we are now hosting live performances out on the stage while we're open on Fridays and Saturdays. And we actually just did our first Sunday game day, NFL game day, so.
All right, thank you. Okay. Any questions, trustees?
I have one, unless you have one, Cheryl. Skylar, you mentioned lighting and adjusting lighting and things like that. I know we spoke earlier in the week about lighting that's being addressed in that back lot area. That seems to be a little bit dim on the other side of the apartment. Can you make a statement on that, of what we're doing to address the lighting issues and
So the lighting company is out on site trying to program the heads. They do actually, it's a hardware issue, so they're having to replace components on the heads, so they are working through that this week. But we are also adding additional security to certain areas, so it is rolling out through this fall, additional cameras.
Great.
So
those of you that have connections on social networks, you put that out there if you would. We're addressing the security issues and the lighting and improving, enhancing, and even one a little bit as far as the warranty will cover, I believe, some of the lighting that we're trying to fix, correct?
Yes, sir.
And-
And I would like to take this opportunity to shout out and give credit to our PD, because they do make nightly patrol runs through here. So at all different hours of the night.
Good to know. And there was a concern that the stage was not lit up when the band was here Friday. Little did we know, there's a little switch behind the stage, and that's all we had to do is flip it on. They would have had can lights shining on them, so we just need to
Like
do
a
that.
new homeowner, it's like, what's this,
Yeah.
what's this,
What's this
you know,
switch?
do?
Yeah, so we'll
Found
just
it.
have to let every performer know as it gets darker, or whatever, or we flip it on when they arrive, so.
Our staff has been well-versed in it now. Everybody knows where that light switch is.
And the other thing is, we know the fall's coming, so in order to be able to do concerts and things, we know it gets colder, so it really is kind of a soft opening. We're just trying to bring people in and have some fun until we really hit it, I think, next season and get rolling. So people that are, how come you're not advertising it? How come you're not packing it? Because we're not really, this is just kind of something for the
In the
next.
waters.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
And then as we get rolling, it's going to be great.
And we do
They're on
have,
Facebook.
we do have an inflatable screen for out there on the stage, so we will have, you know, family movie nights, you know, this fall as well. So lots of opportunities coming.
Yeah, some fun things there.
Very good. All for your enjoyment, everybody.
Yeah. I wonder what we
Okay.
can put on there at 4:30 this Sunday. Is there anything we can watch 4:30 Sunday?
Worth watching.
That is not a sporting, it's not a, yeah.
Worth watching.
We don't want to watch it.
We
Anyway,
don't have that kind of,
we hope the Bengals do well
yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, we do, we love them. Okay, Taylor Swift.
Show us Taylor Swift
I'm
concert.
going to
There you
watch Taylor
go.
Swift.
Yeah, all right, Community Development Department, here we go.
We have Resolution 2024-153, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 3940 Delhi Pike, declaring emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Miller?
So I am filling in for Tony tonight, bear with me. This is a vacant property. I think it's I won't call it a frequent flyer, but it's been on our radar before.
I move that we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Libby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-154, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 413 Elm Street, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Miller?
Some of this has been cleaned up, but they're not working in cooperation with us. We're just checking in, and it's moving around. So I'd like to go ahead and declare it a nuisance, but if we see continued improvement, we'll slow play the final abatement. We want to give them every opportunity to do it for themselves, but without any contact, them being willing to work with us, we want to move forward.
Okay.
Okay. I move that we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Libby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-155, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5358 Lilybet Court, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
We've seen minimal improvement on the site. It needs to, you know, they need to follow through.
All
Okay.
right.
Can
I
we
move to
get-
dispense, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, is it the same on each one of these, or are we going to comment on each one?
It's up to you.
Because we have
I
a
can-
ton here to do.
I can,
If there's
If
something
there's
unique,
something
could
special,
you
how's
stop
that?
us? Yeah. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Libby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-156, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 266 Jupiter Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
no, ma'am.
No? All right. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Libby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-157, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at Lullaby Court, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
No, ma'am.
Do we not have an address, or is it
What's that?
there's no address?
So this is actually vacant land.
Thank you. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
Okay. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-158, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5767 Forson Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
Picture's worth 1,000 words.
Okay.
Is there a home in there somewhere?
That's the backyard.
Okay, I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-159, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5376 Romance Lane, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
No, ma'am.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-160, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 373 Robin Lane, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
This frequent violator, we do it about twice a year. I have heard that there may be a nonprofit land bank trying to acquire this right now.
Okay.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-161, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 288 Kinsman Court, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
This is just a lot of land clearing, and they never cleaned up.
Okay. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-162, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 4333 Champdale Lane, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
Repeat violator.
Repeat. Okay. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-163, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 551 Greenwell Avenue, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
They moved the pile to the middle of the yard.
They moved it to the middle?
Yep.
Okay, there you
So-
go, it's still there.
Okay. I move that we dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2024-164, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 5179 Rapid Run Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
Where is that?
The pony keg.
On Delhi, or on Rabbit Run,
Is that behind it?
on the side?
On the side? Okay.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
Just
Okay.
just
I move
wrap
to
it,
dispense
they'll
with the
pick it.
second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
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 Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes. Amen. Okay, we don't have anybody signed in for public comment, so we'll go straight to announcement of community events. You have the throat for it? Do you want somebody else to read it?
I'm ready. Okay. All right, the Delhi Town Square Lawn Bar is open for business on Fridays and Saturdays from 4 until 9 p.m. We do have some performers on stage coming up this fall. Friday, September 13th is Just Two Howlers from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Saturday, September 21st is The Goldie Show from 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday, September 28th is Mary Beth, is it Samoya?
Samoya.
Yep, from 6 to 9. Friday, October 4th is Acoustic Splendor, 6 to 9. And Saturday, October 19th is Crimson Road, 6 to 9 p.m.
And there's some other ones in the working, I thought.
There are more in the
Good.
works, yes.
Okay,
Those
we'll
are the
roll
ones
them
that
out
are
on
confirmed.
Facebook as they become available, correct?
Yes, ma'am,
Everybody
absolutely.
know. Okay,
Yep. Keep checking Facebook for updates.
yep.
All right, the Delhi Branch Library Fall Tote Bag Craft is Tuesday, September 17th from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Delhi Branch Library on Foley Road. The group will be painting tote bags with a leaf motif and decorate them for the fall. All supplies are provided. Registration is required. Delhi Parks and Recreation presents, in cooperation with St. Dominic Athletic Association, Riverview Delhi Hills Kiwanis, Delhi Skyline Chili, Duber's Carryout, James J. Luby CPA, Delhi Business Association, Kruger Law, Chandler's Burger Bistro, Jake's Automotive, Delhi Who Done It, Hand in Hand Realty is featuring Forever Diamond on Wednesday, September 18th. Concert starts at 7 p.m. at the Delhi Park Performance Pavilion. Food and beverages available for purchase, no coolers permitted. Kids, Cops, and Firefighters Queen of Hearts fundraiser is every Friday night at Jim and Jack's on the River. This is a raffle. Go down to Jim and Jack's on the River to enter. You do not have to be there to
Win.
during the raffle draw to win. And I believe
38,000.
it's 38,000 now.
It'll be
Yep, all right.
38,000 Friday night.
Wonderful. Jackpot is over 38,000. So you win the same amount of money whether you are there or not. So help us support our less fortunate kids in Delhi. Buy some Queen of Hearts tickets. Free Friday fishing at Clearview Lake is now through September 28th. It starts at 7 a.m. and goes until dusk. Fishing is limited to designated areas only. This program is limited to Delhi residents only and is catch and release. And finally, the Harvest Hootenanny, presented by Delhi Parks and Recreation, is Saturday, October 19th, from 10 until, is it 3? Okay.
It's 3, sorry.
All right.
I saw 4 someplace
I know,
else.
I saw 4 too, okay.
Thank
So 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. At Storywoods Park Storywoods Park. Fun for the entire family. Local crafts and vendors will be there. We'll have a pumpkin patch, balloon artists, children's activities, face painting, food trucks, and a petting zoo. For more information, call Delhi Parks at 513-451-3300.
There was some comment last year because the petting zoo didn't make it. So everyone, please note, the animals will be back at the Hootenanny.
All right.
And Mr. Supi, are you still accepting vendors?
Yes, I think as of today, we looked, I believe we have 24 out of 32 booked. So yeah, we're still accepting.
So they can call the parks
Yes, call the
also?
Parks office, yes.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, is that it? All right, we do have a need to go to executive session today, but our next regular meeting is Wednesday, October 9th, here, same place, at 6 o'clock. So we have a motion, please?
Motion to retire to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and/or compensation of public employee of the township, and to consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance and imminent and pending litigation update.
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, motion carries. Again, we'll see you back here on Wednesday, October 9th, excuse me, 2024. Thank you.